everyone, and welcome back to Christian Joy Studio. I'm Leah.
And I'm Lee. We are so super excited to be here with you today, ready to dive into another incredible Bible story that's just bursting with joy and God's amazing love.
That's right, Lee. Today we're going to talk about a story that shows us how God can turn really tough times into something wonderfully good. It's about a very special woman named Ruth.
Oh, Ruth! I love her story. It's all about friendship, family, and how being kind can make a super big difference. Are you ready for it, kids?
I think they are. So, our story starts a very, very long time ago, in a place called Bethlehem. Now, Bethlehem is a famous town, because that's where Jesus would be born many years later.
Whoa, that's a cool connection. So, in Bethlehem, there was a family. A dad named Elimelech, a mom named Naomi, and their two sons, Mahlon and Chilion. They were a happy family, but then something difficult happened.
Yes, there was a big famine in the land. That means there wasn't enough food to eat, and it was getting really hard for people to live. So, Elimelech decided they needed to move somewhere else to find food. They packed up everything and went to a country called Moab.
Moab was a different country, with different customs and different ways of worshiping God. But they went there because they needed food, right?
Exactly. They lived there for a while, and the two sons, Mahlon and Chilion, grew up and got married to two ladies from Moab. Mahlon married a woman named Ruth, and Chilion married a woman named Orpah.
Okay, so far so good. Naomi now has two daughters-in-law. But then the story gets a little sad, doesn't it?
It does, Lee. First, Naomi's husband Elimelech passed away. Can you imagine how sad that would be? And then, a few years later, both of her sons Mahlon and Chilion also passed away. Naomi was left all alone with her two daughters-in-law, Ruth and Orpah.
Oh my goodness, that's incredibly tough. It's like losing everyone you love. Naomi must have felt so heartbroken and lost.
She truly did. After about 10 years in Moab, Naomi heard that God had blessed her homeland, Bethlehem, and there was food there again. So, she decided to go back home. She told Ruth and Orpah, "Go back to your own families. Go find new husbands. May the Lord be kind to you."
That was very kind of Naomi. Even though she was so sad, she was thinking of them.
It was. And Orpah, after crying and giving Naomi a hug, decided to go back to her family, which was a perfectly understandable thing to do. But Ruth...
This is the part I love. Ruth made a choice, didn't she? A really brave and loving choice.
She did. Naomi tried to convince Ruth to go back too, saying, "Look, your sister-in-law has gone back to her people and her gods. You should go back too." But Ruth wouldn't budge. She said some of the most beautiful words in the whole Bible.
What did she say, Leah? Tell us.
She said, "Don't urge me to leave you or to turn back from you. Where you go, I will go, and where you stay, I will stay. Your people will be my people, and your God my God. Where you die, I will die, and there I will be buried. May the Lord deal with me, be it ever so severely, if even death separates you and me."
Wow, that's powerful. Ruth was saying, "I'm sticking with you, Naomi, no matter what." It shows incredible loyalty and love. Even though Naomi had lost so much, she still had Ruth.
It's true. Ruth chose to stay with Naomi even though it meant leaving her own family, her own country, and going to a new place where she didn't know anyone and would be very poor. She was choosing Naomi and Naomi's God.
That's a huge act of faith, too. She was trusting that God would take care of them. And that's a big lesson for us kids, right? Even when things are hard, we can choose to be kind and loyal and trust in God.
Absolutely. So, Naomi and Ruth traveled all the way back to Bethlehem. When they arrived, everyone in the town was buzzing. They said, "Can this be Naomi?" Naomi was so sad she even said, "Don't call me Naomi, call me Mara," which means bitter, because the Almighty has made my life very bitter.
Aw, she was really hurting. But she wasn't alone anymore because Ruth was with her. So, what happened next? How did they live? They didn't have any money or food, did they?
That's a great question. It was harvest time in Bethlehem, which meant people were gathering barley and wheat from their fields. Now, in God's law, there was a special rule for poor people.
Oh, I know this one. Farmers weren't allowed to harvest every single bit of their fields, right? They had to leave some for the poor people to pick up.
Exactly. It was called gleaning. So, Ruth, being a hard worker and wanting to help Naomi, said, "Let me go to the fields and pick up leftover grain behind anyone in whose eyes I find favor." And Naomi said, "Go, my daughter."
So Ruth went out to glean, and guess what? She just so happened to go to a field that belonged to a super rich and kind man named Boaz. What a lucky coincidence.
Well, Lee, was it really just a coincidence? Or do you think maybe God had a little something to do with it? Remember, God has a plan even when things look tough.
Oh, you're right. God's hand was totally in it. So Boaz came out to check on his workers, and he saw Ruth. He asked his foreman, "Whose young woman is that?"
And the foreman told him, "She is the Moabite who came back with Naomi from Moab. She asked if she could glean and gather among the sheaves behind the harvesters. She has been here from morning till now, except for a short rest in the shelter."
Boaz must have been impressed that she was working so hard, and he'd probably heard about Ruth's amazing loyalty to Naomi, because everyone in Bethlehem was talking about it.
He definitely was. Boaz went up to Ruth and said, "Listen, my daughter, don't go to glean in another field. Stay here with my female servants. I've told the young men not to lay a hand on you. And whenever you are thirsty, go and get a drink from the water jars the men have filled."
Wow, that's incredibly kind. He was not only letting her glean, but he was protecting her and making sure she had water. That's more than just following the law. That's showing real compassion.
It really was. Ruth was so surprised and grateful. She bowed down and asked, "Why have I found such favor in your eyes that you notice me, a foreigner?"
And Boaz's answer is just so beautiful. He said, "I've been told all about what you have done for your mother-in-law since the death of your husband, how you left your father and mother and your native land to live with a people you did not know before. May the Lord repay you for what you have done. May you be richly rewarded by the Lord, the God of Israel, under whose wings you have come to take refuge."
Isn't that amazing? Boaz saw Ruth's kindness and loyalty, and he praised her for it, linking it directly to her faith in God. He recognized that she had come to trust in the God of Israel.
So Boaz was super kind to Ruth. He even told his workers to let her glean among the bundles of grain and not to scold her. And he told them to pull out extra grain and leave it for her. It was like a little secret gift.
Exactly. When Ruth came home that evening, she had a huge amount of grain. Naomi was astonished. She asked, "Where did you glean today? Where did you work? Blessed be the man who took notice of you."
And Ruth told her all about Boaz. And Naomi said, "The Lord bless him. He has not stopped showing his kindness to the living and to the dead." She also told Ruth, "That man is our close relative. He is one of our kinsman redeemers."
Now, that word kinsman redeemer might sound a little bit tricky, but it's super important. In those days, if a family lost their land or if a woman lost her husband and had no children, a close male relative could step in to redeem the family.
So like, bring the family back to how it should be? Make things right again? Like a superhero for the family?
Kind of. They could buy back land or marry the widow to continue the family name. Boaz was a kinsman redeemer for Naomi's family. Naomi was starting to see God's plan unfold, bringing joy out of her bitterness.
This is getting exciting. So Naomi had a plan, didn't she? A secret plan to help Ruth and her family.
She did. Naomi told Ruth to wash, put on perfume, and wear her best clothes. Then, she told Ruth to go to the threshing floor where Boaz would be working and sleeping near his grain, but not to let him know she was there until he had finished eating and drinking.
Sounds a bit like a spy mission. What was Ruth supposed to do then?
Naomi told her, "When he lies down, note the place where he is lying. Then go over and uncover his feet and lie down. He will tell you what to do." It might sound strange to us, but this was a way to respectfully ask Boaz to be her kinsman redeemer.
So Ruth did exactly what Naomi said. She went to the threshing floor, waited until Boaz was asleep, uncovered his feet, and lay down quietly.
In the middle of the night, Boaz woke up with a start. He rolled over and saw a woman lying at his feet. He asked, Who are you?